Hello and welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to one of my short bites. Today we're in the county of Gloucestershire and we're going to be having a look at a very famous, well not so famous really, but somebody that made something very famous in this county here. I'm very close to the heart of the little village of Eastington, which is not that far away from both the Stroudwater Canal and the Gloucester Sharkness Canal. It's also close to the M5 too. Perhaps you'll be able to hear it in the background, and also the Bristol-Birmingham main railway. So a little bit of noise around the background, but all this part I've got space to be able to tell you this little tale here in the West Country. Kilroy is here is a meme, M-E-M-E, and a meme is an idea, a concept that spreads through a society culturally. In the case of Kilroy was here, it became a popular graffiti expression used by the US troops during World War II. You can see it sometimes on monuments in America, including one in Washington State, I do believe. And it has that iconic figure peering over the top of a wall, a brick wall, usually a chap with a bald head. However, Kilroy is here, or Kilroy was here, predates the Second World War. It actually started with one man, an animator that lived in this village. During World War II, lots of food staples were in short supply. Things were on ration. Everybody had a ration book. Things like bananas and oranges, well, they just didn't happen. Obviously not grown in this country. They had to be imported, and the priority was for the war effort rather than importing food from the West Indies. Around cities you could see these cartoons springing up with the same bald-headed man that we saw, Kilroy was here, in America. Oh, this time it was the phrase, what no, whatever you'd want to add, fuel, bananas, oranges, whatever was the main thing that people were short of during that part of World War II. But it was the same cartoon figure. Now, both the Royal Air Force and the Army claimed that it was down to them, that it invented it, but actually it wasn't. Now, George Edward Chatterton wasn't actually born in Eastington in Gloucestershire. I put in where he was born because it's on his gravestone, which we're going to have a look at shortly. And he served in the RAF for around about 12 years. In fact, he was a photographer in the RAF. He joined before the start of the Second World War in 1938, and he left in 1950. Well, during his time in the RAF, he also sent in his cartoons to periodicals like the Weekly Review, and there the Chad by Chaz series would start. His nickname was Chaz, and he created this cartoon called Chad, and it appeared in lots of the cartoon strips. You may be familiar with ones like Peanuts, not sure if that's still going, which I think was it by Schultz? Anyway, but these appeared in lots of different magazines and periodicals and a couple of newspapers as well. So his cartoon portrayal of the Chad character became popular. Now, at some point, the Kilroy was here concept from America, which was growing over there, welded itself to what Chaz was doing in Britain, and the two merged together. So you had the what no, which predates the Second World War for quite some time, that phrase. Most commonly it was what no sugar. And the two became together. And obviously, because it was allied forces in the Second World War, they're all working together, the cultures became mingled, and you had a mixing of what no and the Kilroy story, as well as Chad with his hands over the wall and the bald head. So the two became merged. And so it was George Chatterton that lived for some time after he left the RAF in this part of the world. And I actually can tell you now that for some of the time he was based at a nearby factory called Ransom Hoffman Pollard, where my father worked. My father actually worked with Chaz, and so did my mum. Only briefly, they did know him. He was a very quiet gentleman, very well respected gentleman as well. He also then travelled around the holiday camp circuit, becoming a resident cartoonist. So if anybody that was staying in the holiday camps wanted a sketch of their family, he would be there with his desk and table in the holiday resort, and for a small fee he would provide them with a cartoon of their family. So this is George Edward Chatterton's gravestone here in the village of Eastington, just opposite from the parish church here. And as you can see, he passed away on the 29th of September 1996, and it's wonderful. And it's got the famous Chad cartoon image on the head of the gravestone here. I believe actually he was born in the West Country Wanderings region, a bit further north of here, in Worcestershire, in the town of Kidderminster. I'm not sure what brought him though to retire and to work in this part of Gloucestershire. If anybody knows or anybody remembers George Edward Chatterton, I'd love to hear from you. F-I-A-L-F-R-S-A, Chat, that's just wonderful. Also lies his wife here, Iris Betty Chatterton as well, who passed away on the 30th of September 2015. And it's just amazing to think that his little cartoon went all the way around the world. So that's it for today here on West Country Wanderings. If you like that sort of thing, then please have a look at my Short Bites playlist, all different sorts of quirky videos you'll find on there. Perhaps you might want to consider subscribing to the channel West Country Wanderings and make videos from across the entire West Country Wanderings region. I do walks on the coast, look at places moorland, I do railways and canals and much else besides. So if you like that sort of thing, please consider a subscribe. Thank you very much for watching today. Hope to see you on the channel again very, very soon. All the best for now. Goodbye.